As I've prepared to transition roles from CEO to replacing an incredibly successful run of Chris James as chair of the board, it was obviously a natural time to reflect on the past 15 years. I could tell you about our first office space donated to us by Barney Osher for 2 years, free rent, 23,000 square feet of office space on 3rd and Townsend. Times have changed. I could tell you about Katie, Ronnie, Chris, and I having our first board meeting and investing in the homeless prenatal program, a grant of $50,000 in a rising star named Martha Ryan. Or raising $450,000 in that first year with 100 donors. But you all have gotten to know me pretty well. I have always tended to push Tipping Point to look forward. And this morning, even though my dad wanted me to be a little look down memory lane, I'd rather talk about us, all of us. It's not about the past. It's about the future that we're fighting to create together. As you've heard, tackling poverty, it's complicated, but it is possible. A few weeks ago, I went to Bayview to talk with people living in encampments, to hear their perspectives, stories, and proposed solutions. My morning began at McDonald's, sitting in a booth with a guy that had been living on the streets for 7 years. At first blush, I actually thought he was doing okay. Good cup of coffee, a clean shave. Of course, as he began to recount his story, he wasn't okay. None of us would be okay after being homeless for such a long period of time. His story, like most of our stories, is complicated. It's layered, it's nonlinear, and the truth is, I can't swoop in and fix it and make things better. That's not how this works. The change we want to see, it takes all of us, and it takes time. It takes strong networks and programs and better systems. And that's where we invest. Our grantees find the right solution for the right people at the right time. Education, a job training program, prenatal support. For the man at McDonald's, it's a home. And that is possible. To all of our grantees that are here today, I'd like you to please stand. We exist to support all of you and your clients. You are on the front lines doing the hardest and most important work out there, so thank you. I want to ask all of our board and leadership council members, past and present, to please stand. You all have never stopped raising the bar, and I thank you for that. From day one, you have demanded that philanthropy can be better. In fact, our entire model is based on high expectations. We make a promise that if you invest in us, you'll get more. More leverage because our board covers all of our operating expenses. More impact because we measure results and hold ourselves accountable. And more community, because we create mornings like this among believers, givers, and doers. As board chair, I'm going to keep raising those expectations even higher. And when Sam says, as he often does, that we need to take luck out of the equation to break the cycle of poverty, he's raising expectations too. To everyone who has donated to Tipping Point, and that's most of you, I know that it will be all of you by the end of the day. Your trust in us means absolutely everything. Year after year, we ask you not only to give generously, but to believe that change is possible. Neither is an easy request. You have remained optimistic to let the stories like the ones we heard this morning drown out the negativity that surrounds us. To my family, thanks for having my back. When I returned from New York in 2003, after seeing the power of Robinhood and wanting to bring that idea to the Bay Area, there were a lot of skeptics, really smart people that had really good reasons why this wouldn't work here. But you always had faith in me, and not just me, but the daring notion that if our community came together, we could create a region that truly reflects our ideals. Now that's gumption, but it was also a true gift. Might as well go out big. To Becca, I'm not sure if I should thank you or apologize to you. None of this would be possible without you. You have integrated the full concept of tipping point, friendships, struggles, and a lot of events into the fabric of our family. And finally, to Sam and the rest of the team lined up out there, who I've always considered family, thank you. As you know, I haven't always been right as CEO, but one decision I couldn't feel more confident in is our choice of Tipping Point's next leader, Sam Cobbs. There is one thing that I have always been right about, and that's the power of this room. I've asserted it over and over again. This room can create real change. In the early years, I thought it was true. Today, I know it's true. I get the calls asking, how can I help? Calls that turn humble offers into support of multi-million-dollar efforts. Ideas that seem impossible, they grow in force and scale. Like supporting our vulnerable neighbors up north after the devastating fires, like our initiative to reduce chronic homelessness in San Francisco, and our efforts for over 10 years to provide mental health services to all of our organizations. I believe in the power of this room because I've seen it time and time again. This morning, I am filled with a profound sense of optimism. My optimism is based on hearing the kind of results Amy has gotten, the creativity of people like Steph, and the institutions being built by Omar. As chair, I am committed to advocating for Tipping Point at every turn, committed to working tirelessly to tackle the homeless crisis on our streets, committed to raising more money than ever to support the most promising solutions out there. Tipping Point is turning a page, and I am thrilled to be standing with each and every one of you as the next chapters are written. Now let's go do this together. Thank you, and happy holidays.